Let's go live here. All right. Hello, everyone. I am Robin Shaw, and I think everything is set up well. I hope you can hear me and see me. Today, we're going to do a vocabulary workshop. I originally planned to do this last week, but I did a Q&A last week instead. So we'll do the vocabulary workshop today. What is vocabulary workshop? Well, that's when we just play around with vocabulary. I have prepared some sentences and you have to guess the correct vocabulary in those sentences today. We'll do that in a couple minutes. First, let's just check out the chat room, see who's here. Oh, there's a lot of people here. Layla's here. Hello, May. Let's see. Lakshman Polaretti. Hello. Hey, Frana. Hello. Sleepwalker. DMZ. I'm the third. Excuse me. I'm drinking tea today. It's corn tea. Lolly lolly. All right, all the regulars are here. Arabic guy, I can't read Arabic, sorry. Carlos. Hey, Carlos. Michelle. Sarah, hello. Tika's here. Andre. Oh, hello, Andre. I haven't talked to Andre in a while. Hope you're doing well. Oh, Albana's here. Hello. D2. Sometimes we'll do Q&A. Today's like a game. You have to guess. It's not a lesson. It's more like a game. So we'll see what happens today. Anyway, welcome everyone. If I missed your name, sorry. Let's get into it. Vocabulary Workshop 5. So this is not a game, but you have to think and you have to guess the vocabulary. Now, some of it is easy, some of it is difficult. You're all at different levels, but here we go. All right, this is vocabulary 1, and there's a sentence there, and you have to pick the correct word that goes in that sentence. So there's 5 possible words. You have to choose the best one. And in the chat, you can just press the number. Which number is your guess? Hey, Fetty, Miriam, is it a game? Yeah. When I do a game, those videos are not popular. When I do a lesson, those videos are popular. But everyone's asking for a game now. It's like a game with no prizes. Your prize is a smile from Teacher Robin. All right, so you guys are starting to put in your answers. Let's take a look at what this first sentence is. Living close to the lake I can't read. Living close to the lake means we have blank supply of water. And a lot of you, 1 or 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Tika, what about much? 3. Tika, do you say 3? And Fran, what's the difference between all the words? Well, yeah, I'll talk about the difference between all the words after you guess, after everyone guesses. Actually, we'll start doing that now. So I think a lot of and much and abundant might be the new word that you might not heard before. Abundant, and lavish. What does lavish mean? Oh, Elisa's here. So we have choices, Elisa. I keep calling you Elisa. I want to call you back. I want to go back to Alyssa. The sentence says living close to the lake means we have blank supply of water. Number one, a lot of. Two, an abundant. Three, much. Four, great. Five, lavish. And Andre, we haven't seen Little Robin for a while. He always makes the PPTs. So again, if there's any mistake in the PPTs, Little Robin's fault. You sit over there. All right, well, let's get into the first one here. The first one is number 2. An abundant supply of water is the best choice. And let's talk about that for a moment. So I chose abundant because I hope to teach that to you guys so you understand abundant, which means more than enough. And Layla, we have 20 vocabulary today. We have 10 vocabulary today, Layla, but I'll teach the vocabulary and then we'll have a test later. Oh, this game has a test. All right, so abundant, more than enough. So we live near the lake, so we have more than enough water. We'll never run out of water. We have an abundant supply of water. So you guys are thinking, well, can't we say we have a lot of supply? We could say we have a lot of supplies, but when we're talking about water, supply of water, the native speaker is always going to use an abundant supply of water or an abundant supply of food. This is the word we're going to use, which means we have more than enough, more than enough. Much supply, great supply, and lavish. Lavish is luxury. I think that means luxury. That's not going to work. So the best word here is an abundant supply of. An abundant supply of. Everyone to remember that. Yeah, let's check lavish. The what does Oxford say about lavish? Because that's the other word. You guys are wondering, what does that mean? Lavish? I'll just copy paste. There you go. Lavish. It's not pasting. Large in amount or impressive and usually costing a lot of money. So, a mansion is very lavish. When we think of lavish, it's usually something very luxury, expensive, a lot of something costing a lot of money. So that's not going to work here because a lake is not lavish. It's not expensive. All right, we're going to move on. Isn't water an uncountable noun? Sure it is. So we have an abundant supply of water. We don't say waters. Maudie is driving, and Grace are driving, but they're both typing. I have to block them if they're driving and typing. All right, let's move on to number 2. Anyway, an abundant, a lot, more than enough, an abundant. Number 2 here, the sentence says, the blank company barbecue takes place every August. The blank company barbecue takes place every August. Our choices are year, every year, annual, biannual, year end. So the year company barbecue takes place every August. The every year company barbecue takes place every August. The annual company barbecue takes place every August. The biannual company barbecue takes place every August. The year-end company barbecue takes place every August. And right away, I see a lot of people going for 3. 3, 3, 3. Three, 3, 3. And even Alyssa, 3. All right. Well, since you're all getting that correct, yeah, the answer is annual, happening once every year. So we could say number 5, year end, if it was in December, maybe at the end of the year, it's possible we could say the year end party, year end barbecue. But this barbecue is in August. It's once a year, so it's happening annual. And what is biannual? Bi means 2, like bicycle, two wheels. So biannual will mean twice a year. So biannual is twice a year. So I think most of you got that. The every year company barbecue, that is, we wouldn't say that. We would say the annual. The annual company barbecue takes place every August. Okay. So annual, adjective happening once every year. All right, let's move on to number 3. Number 3 says, I wish they would blank arguing. So I wish they would, number 1, stops arguing. I wish they would cease arguing. I wish they would prevent arguing. I wish they would conclude arguing. I wish they would terminate arguing. Which one is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Syed Falak, hello. Samira's here. Who else is here? All right, let's take a look. Interesting answers here. We see 3 and 2. 3 and 2. So Alyssa says 2, cease. Mojib says 5. Some good answer. Well, number 1 says stops. They stops. That grammatically that doesn't work. So number 1 is not right, just because of grammar. Stop. If it was just stop, that would be great. And as Tika says, cease means to stop something, and Tika is right because we can't say stop. Cease is the best. I wish they would prevent arguing. Now, prevent sounds really good, but actually we would express that as I wish they would avoid arguing. That's usually how we express that. I wish they would avoid arguing. We don't really say I wish they would prevent arguing. We say I wish they would avoid arguing. So 1 and 3. Now 4, conclude. I wish they would conclude. This is more of a grammar problem too. I wish they would conclude their arguing, or I wish they would conclude arguing. It's a little awkward. And I wish they would terminate. Is very formal. Terminate is very formal for stop. So all of these words are very similar, but the native speaker will probably use stop, but we can't use stop. So the best one after stop is cease. I wish they would cease. Cease arguing. Now it starts with a C, but we just cease. cease. That is the best one. All right. And afrana, terminate. Yeah, it's terminate, very formal. Only for services. I don't want to say only for services, but certainly we terminate contracts. We terminate. What else do we terminate? We can terminate any deals. It's very formal for stop. All right, let's move on to number 4. Clickety click. All right. Vocabulary number 4, the building finally blank. The building finally blank. Now, it's 1, collapsed, 2, broke, 3, ruins, 4, fell down, 5, disintegrated. So the building finally collapsed, the building finally broke, the building finally ruins, the building finally fell down, the building finally disintegrated. All of them mean very similar, but there is only one best one. I see lots of 1s. Samira says 3. And Madi, hello. Jose from Panama. I was looking at websites about Panama today. Michelle says fell down. Sarah says collapsed. All right, Albana's gone. So what's happening here? The building finally... yeah, I think most of you got that one. Collapsed. Now, the building finally collapsed. Collapse means to fall down or break suddenly. So what about number 4? Number 4 could also work. The building finally fell down. So number 1 and number 4, but the better one is number 1, I would say, than number 4, but number 4 is possible. The building finally broke. That's possible, but a little awkward. The building finally ruins. Ruins doesn't work. And disintegrated would be completely disappeared. So that's too much of being destroyed. So yeah, collapsed is the best one. To fall down or break suddenly. And Anna, they have similar meaning, but you have to choose the suitable, yes. And Andre, it's very sad. I remember the World Trade Centers collapsed on 9/11. On 9/11. We got to use the preposition on 9/11, and I remember that. Wow, yeah. Let's move on to number 5. I don't want to talk about the World Trade Centers. Hello, the Wolf and Unstruly. Oh, Anjali. And Layla, do native speakers use collapsed or fell down? I said we use them both, but collapsed would be if you're writing on a test, you should choose collapsed. All right, number 5 here. Now that I follow a schedule, I work much more blank. Number 1, good. Number 2, hardly. Excuse me. Number 3, hesitantly. Number 4, initially. And number 5, efficiently. So now that I follow a schedule, I work much more good. I work much more hardly. I work much more hesitantly. I work much more initially. I work much more efficiently. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five. Layla puts 3, hesitantly. And Mahdi, 2 and 5 are true. No, number 2 is definitely not true. You cannot work hardly. If you work hard, that means you're working very well. If you can't say I work hardly. That means you don't work. Hesitant, so good. Which more good? You can't say more good. You have to say more better. So good is gone. Hardly, that's wrong because hardly means not work. Hesitantly means very cautiously, and that's not going to work. Initially means like first, at first. That's a little awkward here. So I think most of you got that. Efficiently, and the definition, working or operating in an organized, quick, and effective way. So now that I follow a schedule, I work much more efficiently. I'm drinking tea, the wolf. Okay. All right, let's move on to number 6. Number 6 says, you need a blank of 70% to pass the English exam. You need a 1 limit of 70%, 2 you need a minimum of 70%, 3 you need a goal of 70%, 4 you need a maximum of 70%, or 5 you need a grading of 70% to pass the English exam. Michelle, thank you for the coffee. It's a good time for the commercial. Please join the channel, support my coffee budget. Jose, I know it's efficiently because I've noticed that I'm more efficient when I work with a schedule. Yeah, we're all more efficient with a schedule. That's a cute little animation with Michelle's coffee. Psh. Thank you very much, Michelle. All right, what are you guys guessing here? 1 limit, 2 minimum, 3 goal, 4 maximum, 5 grading. Tika minimum? Question mark. Lolly lolly minimum. A for Anna. Message gone. And 5. At least Alyssa. You said 5. That is incorrect. So the correct answer is number 2, the minimum. For number 5, grading, we should say a grade of. A grade of, not a grading of. A grade of 70% is more appropriate. But anyway, the best answer here is you need a minimum of 70% to pass the English exam. You need a minimum. That's the smallest amount allowed. Minimum. So all of you who chose number 2, you are correct. All right, let's move on to number 7. Okay, number 7. Her perfume is very blank. I could barely smell it. Number 1, subtle, S-U-T-T-L-E. Number 2, subtle, S-U-B-T-L-E. Number 3, weak. Number 4, calm. And number 5, stagnant. Her perfume is very what? Number 1, subtle, S-U-T-T-L-E. 2, subtle, S-U-B-T-L-E. Her perfume is very weak. Her perfume is very calm. Her perfume is very stagnant. I could barely smell it. way, we got some 2s, we get some 5s. Now, Alyssa, I didn't really want to read 1 and 2 because that kind of helps. Andre says 1 or 5. I don't know these words. Lolly Lolly says, I love subtle perfume. Well, I'm going to help Andre out here. Let's get stagnant. So this is the, this is the definition of stagnant. Stagnant means water or air is not moving and therefore smells unpleasant. So if there's some water that's not moving, it's starting to smell, that is stagnant water. The smell is not good. But in this case, I could barely smell it, and we're talking about perfume. Perfume is usually good smell. So the answer is subtle. Number 2, subtle. So subtle means something is not loud, not bright, not noticeable. I think not noticeable or obvious in any way. So something subtle, it's very light, not easy to notice. So her perfume is very subtle, not strong. I could barely smell it. So subtle, if you go back here, now number 1, I have subtle, S-U-T-T-L-E. That is not a word in English language. Number 2 is the word subtle. There is a B there, but that B is silent. We do not say subtle. That B is silent. Shh, shh, shh. Subtle. Weak, that's the wrong spelling of week. That's like days of the week. W-E-E-K. If it was W-E-A-K, it's possible. Yeah. So there you go. Subtle, not loud, bright, noticeable, or obvious in any way. And Jose, subtle in Spanish. Okay. All right, let's move on to number 8. Number 8 says, Robin blank my invitation to the school dance. Robin 1, dejected my invitation. 2, rejected my invitation. 3, refused my invitation. Refused, R-E-F-U-Z-E-D. Number 4, restricted my invitation. And number 5, lose my invitation. Monday Crispies here. Little Robin made many spelling mistakes. No, those spelling mistakes are on purpose. They're there to trick you. I'm sorry, Alyssa, you cannot see some of these spelling mistakes, but I tried to spell as much as I can. All right, most of you are putting 2222. You are correct. Just to reject. Refuse to accept. Use or believe something. All right, so you reject. I rejected your invitation. Dejected is a different meaning. Refused has the wrong spelling. Restricted and lose, they just don't belong there. So all of you got the correct one, rejected. I don't want it. I reject it. I do not accept it. Jose, they're on purpose, pal. What do you mean, Jose? Yeah, the refused, I put a Z there. If that Z had an S, It works, but I put the Z to confuse some of you. If it was an S, you could say Robin refused my invitation, but this refused does not have an S. Number 9. Robin's company is going to blank him from Seoul to Paris. Robin's company is going to locate him. Robin's company is going to transition him. Robin's company is going to journey him. Robin's company is going to supplant him. And Robin's company is going to transfer him from Seoul to Paris. All right, everyone's coming in with quick answers here. 55555. There's no fooling you guys. Charles Basol, hello. Sakib Ali, hello. What is for? Supplant? Well, here, I'll throw in the definition. Here's the definition of supplant. I think most of you got the best word. The best word is just to transfer, to move from one place to another. You transfer. All right, vocabulary 10. Vocabulary number 10 here says Robin almost always has an blank attitude. Number 1, uplifting attitude. Number 2, upwell attitude. Number 3, upbeat attitude. Number 4, uproar attitude. And number 5, upset attitude. This one might be difficult. Samira. Layla, those words are too confusing me too much. Great. I want to confuse you. What did Lolly said? Upset? All right, I think number 10 here seems to be the most difficult one because we got 1, 2, 3, 5. Nobody said 4, but 1, 2, 3, and 5. Well, here, I'm going to throw in here is uplifting definition. Making you feel happier or giving you more hope. So Robin always has an uplifting attitude. Yeah, Jose Gonzalez here. I would say that something can be uplifting, but I can't be uplifting. And Jose is right. We do not we describe things or situations as uplifting, but we do not describe people as uplifting. So number 1, sorry guys, doesn't work. We do not describe attitudes as usually uplifting. Upwell, number 2, upwell attitude. Is upwell a word? I don't think that's a word. Upwell? No. Number 2 is not even a word in the English language. There is no upwell. Number 3, upbeat. And let's see. So upbeat means positive and enthusiastic. Uproar, which I'm not even going to, just uproar makes people angry and upset, angry. So, well, the correct answer here, guys, is 3, upbeat. So it's an adjective. It's often used to describe people and situations. It's an upbeat, very positive attitude. And I know you guys were confused because the sentence says Robin almost always has an upbeat attitude. And you're thinking, Robin never has an upbeat attitude. So I know the sentence confused you, but the best word there is upbeat. The uplifting, her story was very uplifting. So usually stories, situations are uplifting, but we don't describe people as uplifting. All right, that's the 10 vocabulary. Now we're going to still practice the vocabulary. So I call it test number 1. So I have Alyssa, I have some new sentences, and I have all of our 10 vocabulary listed, and you have to choose one of them. The 10 vocabulary: 1, abundant; 2, annual; 3, cease; 4, collapse; 5, efficiently; 6, minimum; 7, subtle; 8, reject; 9, transfer; and 10, upbeat. Those are the words we have to use. And test number 1 says, he was blank about the company's future. He was blank about the company's future. So we have to choose one of our 10 words. Which word is the best word? Oh, thanks, Jose. You always want to confuse us, Robin. Layla, I think today's vocabulary has been pretty easy until number 10. Ooh, Ms. Quick Thumbs, lolly lolly, put in upbeat. Upbeat. And Piyush put in abundant. He was abundant. Marty, he was cease about the company. Janderson, he was efficiently. Carlos Mario. So Afran has put in a strong 10. Michelle put in 10. May put in 10. Well, guys, the answer to this one is upbeat. So he was upbeat about the company's future. So he was very positive about the company's future. He's full of hope, happiness, and has good feelings about the company's future. Upbeat. Upbeat. All right, let's go to number 2 of the test. The room was painted in a blank shade of pink. The room was painted in a blank shade of pink. What is the blank? Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, or upbeat. Lolly Lolly's 7, subtle. 7, 7, 7, subtle. Everyone is convinced that it is number 7, subtle. Monday Crispy comes in with 1. an abundant shade of pink. Layla puts number 1 an abundant shade of pink. Yeah. Well, number 1 cannot work. We do not describe a shade of pink or a color. A shade is like a type of pink color. We never describe a type of something as abundant. So yeah, for this one, you got it right that it is a subtle shade of pink. So you got to imagine a room that is painted with pink, and we got to imagine the color pink. Now, pink can be very strong, or it can be subtle, very weak, or not so bright. Okay, so a subtle shade of pink. Layla, I'm wrong again. I'm not lucky today. Well, hopefully you're not just randomly guessing. You got to think about this, and hopefully you learn by the end of this video. If you got everything right, you are not learning. All right, let's go into number 3. Number 3 says, my mom blank suddenly onto the floor. My mom blank suddenly onto the floor. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. And Sleepwalker, Lolly Lolly, you put number 4. Just Josie Daka 20, number 4. Collapse, number 4. All right. Oh, Grace is here. And Layla. All right, yeah. So the correct one there is collapsed. So buildings collapse, and we could also say humans, people collapse, fall down, or break suddenly. That's collapse. All right, let's go into number 3. Or number 4. Test 4. We need a blank of 10 people to play this game. We need a blank of 10 people to play this game. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. All right, Sleepwalker. Where's Lolly Lolly? Sleepwalker, Layla, 6'6", minimum. Janderson, what is it? Added optimistic? 6'6". Lolly Lolly, why are you so late? Minimum. 4 collapse. Ala, I think you're on the previous one, minimum. Yep. So number 4 here is minimum. We need a minimum of 10 people to play this game. The smallest amount is 10 people. Test number 5. There is blank evidence of global warming. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. Lolly Lolly says 5. Upbeat evidence. Upbeat is kind of a positive evidence. Upbeat is kind of hopeful. It doesn't really match here now. I'm going to say right off the bat, very quickly, number 10 does not match here. Jolly 2. Annual evidence. Michelle also put annual evidence of global warming. Annual means once a year, so it cannot be annual. Global warming happens every day of the year, not once a year. Yeah, Jose, isn't it great that people around the world are gathered to participate in this vocab session? Yeah, it's always great to be improving your English. Predator 9. 6. Hershey Kulak. Kulakag 6. Aleph has a 6. No, this is certainly abundant. There is abundant evidence of global warming. So there's so much, more than enough evidence of global warming. Annual evidence? No. Annual is just once a year. So evidence does not happen once a year. Number 6. Please blank from spamming my WhatsApp group. Please blank from spamming my WhatsApp group. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. I have many WhatsApp groups. Lolly Lolly has not joined my groups yet. I don't know why Lolly Lolly has not joined my WhatsApp groups. Everyone is waiting for Lolly Lolly to join the WhatsApp group. And I think most of you are... Let's Learn English puts number 1. I think you're talking about test 5. Sarah says 2 or 5. Please, and maybe Sarah's not on test 6. You know, everyone is a different delay on the live stream. Some people have a 20-second delay. Some people have a 1-minute delay. So it's sometimes hard to know which question people are answering. Lolly Lolly, I am too shy. What are you talking about, Lolly Lolly? You are not shy. If you have WhatsApp, download it, join. We practice there every day, speaking and homework, and we have fun there. We share photos. Lolly Lolly, please join. You're the missing family member. Everyone else is there except you. Dwee, 5. Dwee, no. All right, the answer to this one is cease. Stop. Please stop from spamming my WhatsApp group. Stop. Because I don't like spamming. I don't like it. Stop it. All right? That's how I say that. Test 7. She blank his unwelcome advances. She blank his unwelcome advances. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. Layla, I always give the first answer, but my internet is too weak. Layla, I heard that Saudi Arabia has very fast internet. I heard Saudi Arabia has very fast internet. Saqib, yes. Saqib Ali, my first day here. Can I join? Sure, Saqib. Everyone is welcome. Sarisha Reddy says reject. She reject. Yeah. What are advances? That's actually the difficult word here. Now, this advances here as a special meaning, all right? Now, advances has many meaning, But this advances, I'm going to tell you guys, it's not a positive. I put the definition, it attempts to start a not so good relationship with somebody. So when the guy is trying to maybe date or say some things to the girl, it's unwelcome. She doesn't want it. So, yeah, what is she going to do? She's going to reject. She rejected his unwelcome advances. She did not want that guy talking to her. Layla, not that fast, especially in my area. Okay. Jose, speaking of practicing English, I just had a video call and a messenger 1 hour. It was amazing. I met a good woman from the Philippines who currently living in Australia. Good for you, Jose. All right, that was rejected. Let's go on to test number 8. We were blank from one bus into another bus. We were blank from one bus into another bus. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. Monty Costa, welcome, Monty Costa. You are a channel member. Monty Costa, please, are you in the WhatsApp group, Monty Costa? 3 says 9. Monty Costa 9. A Fran 9. Everyone's 9999999. Everyone agrees, so let's just move on. It is 9. We transferred from one bus to another. All right, you guys got that. Let's not waste any more time on the easy ones. Number 9. I get on blank raise. I get in blank raise. Well, you have a clue. You see on. I get on blank raise. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, or upbeat. Oh, Monty is Monica. Okay. Monica. Monica, good to see you, Monica. Monty's Monica. Very important information. If you told me, maybe I didn't know, I forgot. I won't forget now. All right, well, what is a raise? So a raise, raise, but in this case, raise, raise means to lift something, but in this case, raise will be, I'll just type it here. A raise an increase in salary. So the salary, someone's salary went up. It increased. Pay raise, yes. So this is going to be annual because a pay raise, sometimes, not me, I do not get an annual raise. I get a raise every 2 years, not every year. But some people get an annual raise. Every year, once a year, their salary is increased. Annual raise. Number 10. The cows in the field have on blank food supply. The cows in the field have on blank food supply. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. Erstruli Angeli 2. Annual food supplies? Lolly, upbeat, or no, 10, 1. Abundant food supplies. Samira, efficiently food supplies. This abundant, Michelle abundant. Yeah, the cows in the field do not have an annual food supply. We're gonna say, yeah. Again, we have supply. If you think back, we had a living near the lake gave us the water supply. So supply here often connected with the word abundant. An abundant food supply. So they have lots of grass to eat, more than enough. All right, that was test 10. I think we're going to test 15. So there's 5 more. Not test number 11. There is always on blank mood in Robin's WhatsApp groups. There is always on blank mood in Robin's WhatsApp groups. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. Asin Bayram. Hello. Surisha, ready. When is your next live chat? I am here every Sunday. We have another teacher, Sherry, here every Tuesday. So please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. You'll be notified of our upcoming live streams. Support the channel so I can bring in more teachers. Yeah, the answer here is we're also going to use upbeat. Upbeat mood. So very hopeful and happy mood in the WhatsApp groups. So I think most of you got that. An upbeat mood. All right, moving to number 12. Companies usually publish blank reports. Companies usually publish blank reports. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. Remember to like the video, guys. Because when I decide which videos I will make next, I check the likes. So if I see a lot of likes on a video, then I continue that series. If I don't see many likes, I don't continue that series. So if you like this, hit like. If you don't like it, don't hit like. You vote with your fingers. Let's see how many likes. I got 20 likes. All right, for this one, I think most of you got it annual. So companies usually publish to the media or to the shareholders or to the public annual reports. So once a year they give a report. So yeah, a lot of you, Lolly, Dewey, Michelle, May, you all said annual. And number 13, we have 13, 14, 15, and then we're done. 13 says, many coin-operated machines in England blank euros. Many coin-operated machines in England blank euros. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. Cease euros. So lolly lolly. Many coin-operated machines in England cease euros. A for Anna. Reject. Lolly lolly. Reject. Francis Delita. Minimum euros? DMZ Saqib Ali 88. Sounds good. Alyssa says transfer euros. Many coin-operated machines in England transfer euros. Grammatically, that's possible, but it doesn't make sense. Can coin-operated machines transfer euros? No. May says reject, and Dewey says subtle. Sorry, Dewey, it is not subtle. We need a verb here, not an adjective. Yeah, Jose says their currency is pounds. So if you go to the UK, in England, the currency is pounds. They don't use euros. So if you're using a machine that uses coins, those machines will reject euros because they don't use euros. So this one you had to think. You had to know about England's money. Euros is a complicated question, but the word is reject. So those coin-operated machines in England reject euros. All right, 14. She runs her business very blank. She runs her business very blank. Abundant, annual, cease, collapse, efficiently, minimum, subtle, reject, transfer, upbeat. Sleepwalker says 5. Lolly Lolly says 5. Anna says 5. Monica 5. Dwee 4. She runs her business very collapse. Sorry, Dwee. Yeah, Lolly Lolly's 5. Angeli 5. Jose 5. 5, 5, 5. Yep. She runs her business very efficiently is the answer. Good for you if you put efficiently. And the last question today, the chair blank under her weight. The chair blank under her weight. Oh, Jonathan. Hey. Good to see you, Jonathan. You're late. The chair blank under her weight. We have to use an adjective here, not for 15. Yeah, okay, so Lolly Lolly 4, Jonathan 4, Sleepwalker 4, Dwee 4, Anna 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Yeah, collapsed in the past tense. That is right. The chair collapsed under her weight. So this happened. I'm going to quickly tell this story, but I used to tutor a student of mine. I was teaching this Korean student 1-to-1, and she was about 10 years old, student. And I went to her house, and her mom's there, and I went into her room to teach her English. And she told me her previous teacher used to be also a Canadian woman, but she was very, very large, let's say. She was a bigger woman. And she told me the story that her teacher was sitting on the chair, and the chair collapsed under her weight. So she weighs a lot, and her weight made the chair. So the teacher fell to the ground, very embarrassed. And sleepwalker, yeah, we don't want to use that word. I don't want to say that word, but just a larger woman. Under her weight, yeah, she was very big, and her weight caused the collapse. So she was basically overweight. Jose, yes. Yeah, so the teacher was on the ground and just so embarrassed that the teacher quit the job. Good for me because I got that job after her. I was hired and I didn't break any chairs. Not yet. All right, anyways, guys. Anyways, those were the words. So your homework. Right, I know I haven't been checking the homework on this channel, but I promise eventually I will check the homework. Uh, but please try to make some sentences using these words in the comments section below the video, not in the chat. You got to come back tomorrow. Don't do it today. Come back tomorrow. This is your homework. I say tomorrow because you got to review tomorrow to make sure you remember the words, because you're not going to remember this live stream. But if you come back tomorrow and you do a review, this will help you to remember the words and start using these words in the chat. Or tomorrow, the day after, sometime this week, come back and try to make sentences using these words. Put them in the comments below this video. I will check them eventually. Anyway, guys, thank you for participating, and I'll see you in the WhatsApp group, Lolly Lolly. Please join, and the rest of you, thank you for joining. I hope you learned something today. I know we didn't master these words today, but we're a little bit better in our understanding. Okay? Thanks, guys. And yeah, thanks, Sleepwalker, Samira, Sakib, Layla, Jose. Good to see you here, Jose Gonzalez. Jonathan, better late than never. DMZ, Alyssa, and Monica. Okay. See you guys.